ready? We strapped up. It's wartime, family. That time coming, our Savior come, we got to be ready for it. Is you ready? Then hold up.
Israel about to rise. My people, can't you feel it inside? I'm talking to the 12 tribes. The Messiah died to give you life. So search my heart, Lord, and cleanse my mind. Yeah, you better pray that he do the same for you, because we running out of time. We at the end of the world, and that ain't no exaggeration. And this is reverse psychology, undoing all your miseducation. Better believe that, because it takes faith to perceive that. It's a reward at the end for utilizing your gifts to minister what a pimp pours in Jesus. That I knew there'd be an issue with the word that I use. Clarity for you super bruise, the horrors of the lost sheep too. So I encourage all of you to never know mine, all of the haters. Repent and it'll get greater later. Exhorting one another before the return of our Savior. When he comes to crack the sky, either you're holy or you're not. I know it's hard to live this life, but it would be worse than not to try. When it comes to the commandments, it's either you do or you die. His word prove I'm not a lie. You don't take heed, then it will be jewels that you drop. Got the whole Hebrew hood saying ra. Yeah, me and the Most High make you reflect on your favorite tune. Cause life is chess, you gotta think for your move. Y'all should coming soon.
Hold up. Down fringes on, strapped with a KJV, Tupac at a photo shoot. Yeah, picture me rolling with the 12 tribes, spiritual insomniac. Ego bumper, ego bet I fire like a Pontiac. Beating on the drum while we marching around Jericho. Round and round, yeah, like the merry-go. Yeah, like a Bendigo, Shadrach and Meshach. See, we've been put through a fire, but Yasha put us through that. He woke me up by the coma, told me go back on the corner and prophesy to the wind. Leave these dry bones soaking. See, I put on for my city, cause they made us forget it. We've been dispersed through a curse, but now my Father's so pity. God, this amazing awakening's taking place in the last hour. They rousing up a Lion King. We taking back what's ours. For tribe representative, but I ride for all of them. Kwam Yasha Allah, how I long for Jerusalem. Trigger, I'm more than a nigga when I hit a Yasha Picnic, man, pick a nigga so he gon' do him like the Vietcong. Yeah, Babylon, they gon' get recompense. The judgment, when I be innocent, I don't care if they got Johnny Cochran and their OJ and the glove do not fit. There will be wars, the rumors of war, and destruction for the mother whore. When we rule, yes, we gon' rule, and when we rule, it's forevermore. I say Kwam Yasha Allah, a soldier for me, I will a higher, yes, I was a rider from the tribe of Judah. Hold up.
I'm hoping y'all hear me well over there. Yes. Welcome to the Hebrew state of being. I am your humble servant and host for tonight. I am Kayel in the building. I got my Young and Bella song, is in the building. I tapped all kind of things. My youngin' Bellason is in the building. Wife is out for work. My brother Pecan, Miss Artist 28. I see my brothers are in the building. Cuz Michael, my brother Yuan is in the building. Oh man, we got a good show tonight, man. We are dealing with Jubilees chapter 2. You know, this world right now, everybody wants to pick up from right now. And as they're having these conversations on where they should go, what they should be paying attention to, how these current events are aligning with certain things, they go back to the beginning and they try to get into Elohims and councils of gods and they try to do all these things to justify where they are right now. That's the wrong way of doing things. You have to seek what is in the beginning, not just a part of the beginning, not just a verse, not just one chapter. We understand that in this spiritual world, that our nations, whether you believe it or not, our nations, the people that lead us, people that make decisions, they have two belief systems. It's either they believe in the Sumerian, where the cuneiform comes from, and they believe in Enki and Enlil. Then you got the whole other side with from Allah to Muhammad to Jesus to Krishna to Buddha to all these different spiritualisms, all the way down to the indigenous spiritualisms that believe in divination, multiple gods. Same as Enki and Enlil, but they separated in history as the Sumerian people. They're not sure who they were, right? That gave us this cuneiform and all of these kings lists and things like that. They're not quite sure who them people are, but they know they was here and this is what they left back. And so they're not connecting them with man. They actually think that Enki and Enlil altered man. You understand? That's what the intellectual hierarchy of academia says when they search history. First God system and what people believed in. And they give you that they altered us so that we could mine gold. Now, the first writings, as we're going back, is Gilgamesh. It's the first story that they got. And Gilgamesh, it's a story of multiple gods. I want you to understand we're talking about nations, what they believe in from their hierarchy academia as what they believe the beginning is if they do not believe in Genesis. Are you guys with me? This multiple god system of Gilgamesh's story and the god that he fought with also aligns with the people that come out of Greek and Rome that talk about Lilith and the Nag Hammadi. All that is connected to the cuneiforms, Gilgamesh, and multiple god systems of Enki and Enlil. This is the high academia of nations. Then you have this world of Genesis, this mosaic that has been broken into and shattered into so many beliefs from Catholicism and the Roman Catholic Empire to Martin Luther and the Protestants and the shattering and that bringing you Baptist, Methodist, Seventh-day Adventists, and all of these different religions, Baptists and all, right? This shattering of people that so-called come from Genesis. You have nations, as we went through in part 1 and part 2 of the etymology of your gods. We explained how the conquering of nations and what they believed in, and how the Romans were the only ones that came in and said, you can believe in whatever you want as long as you pay to Caesar. Kind of similar to what we have right now. See, these Zoroastrian and ancient indigenous belief systems before Buddha, these people derived from the same understanding of, how can I say this? The Zoroastrians we're speaking of. These Zoroastrians, they're very similar to believing in the Elohims, right? The multiple gods that the Most High created. So that's where we are going to delve into, because from cuneiform and Incan and Enlil, you get Zoroastrian, and then you get Catholicism. So understanding that Moshe, right? That Moshe is revered in all of what we call the present day Abrahamic faiths, which poses themselves as a monotheistic religion, meaning that they believe in one, meaning that the Muslims, they believe in Allah, even though they say give all praises and they do worship Muhammad, they still say their mono God is Allah. The Catholic Church says they believe in a God, but they believe that God came down in a human form. So now they created a holy trinity in which you're supposed to worship, not really a monotheistic one God. Then you have the Judean people, that the Khazarians, the present day Jewish people that are Zionist, right? That they believe their Messiah is coming, and that's who they're going to worship, as opposed to, again, one creator. Now, their creator is different. It is Yahweh, as we took care of by the Edomites. And we know that Edom married into what we will call a present day Khazarian, and that the Edomites were the first ones to bring us Yod Hey Wah, right? Yahweh. So we know that Edom is connected to us as being the twin brother of Jacob. So it gets confusing, and that is what the devil wants. The Hashatan wants confusion. So tonight, as I said, Moshe is revered in all three of those, and is understood as the person of bringing a monolithic God, the Most High, Al Shaddai, unto a people that were in captivity in Egypt, that were believing in multiple God systems and divination of Osiris and Nimrod and Baal and so forth. So Moshe, being the steward, or the one that got the word from the Most High, gives us not only Genesis, but Jubilees. So we are going to dive into Jubilees for the beginning, for the clarity on Elohim's multiple gods. And chapter 2 does that wonderfully. So this Jubilees was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls on the caves of Qumran, untouched, meaning that they were part of a everyday readings for the Hebrews. This was not canonized, which is the Roman Catholic Empire, which of course, we don't care about. Unfortunately, the IUIC and the other camps, they believe that if it's not canonical, it's not script. And that is the downfall of those particular individuals. So we're going to blow the shofar so that we can get into the scripture of the Most High. And read this chapter 2. Let me share the screen. As we're blowing the shofar, we're going to stand.
Tech company Meta is
what are we going to be praying? Not that we want Meta, right? We want to make sure that that's not happening, right? So we can't stand that aspect. But what we're going to be praying about is that the words that you hear, the words that are in these scriptures are the answer to the questions that you've had all week, all month, all your life. Not my extra commentary, not my words, but the scriptures itself. So we stand to the east and we pray unto the Most High that when you do allow these scriptures to be the truth and the answer to your questions, we pray that Al Shaddai levels you up immediately when it resonates with you, whether it be right now, next week, or next year. All praise unto the Most High. Let's stand to the east where the windows of Shemayim opens, not to Jerusalem, not to Mecca, but where the sun rises every day. And the windows of the heavens are open and we send our prayers there. So stand to the east. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. All praise unto the Most High, man. Yes. So let's get into this Jubilees. Chapter 2. So we stop that share. Perfect. So as we start, it says, and the angel of the presence spoke. Now, this angel of the presence is interesting to me because it's going to be a theme throughout the first part of this chapter 2. We know what an angel is, right? An angel is something that the Most High created to do his work, to do his bidding. We understand that angels have different things that they may do. We understand the 4 archangels being separate from the other angels, having different responsibilities. Well, here Moshe is saying that this angel has a name. And what is his name? Presence. Now, for me, that sounds very much like the Ruach HaKodesh that speaks to us and is available to us every day that the Most High has given us from the beginning of time. So, and it says, the angel of presence spoke to Moshe according to the word of the Most High. So the angel is not speaking from itself. That's what keeps it in order. That's what allows it to be an angel. Anything that does not do as the Most High has ordered it to do is not of the Most High. It is an angel, a fallen angel, right? It says, saying, write the complete history of the creation, how in 6 days the Most High finished all his works and all that he created. Now, this is singular, right? It just said how in 6 days the Most High, and they say Elohim, right? That means the I guess, the all of the angels that they're now referring to as gods. I want us to understand literary words and what they're actually saying and meaning. So it says, finished all his works and all that he created. He kept Shabbat on the seventh day and sanctified it for all ages and appointed it as a sign for all his works. Now that puts a lot on the Sabbath, which is the fourth commandment, as we are seeing a real life representation of fork tongue, because the state now wants to invoke the Ten Commandments, but yet they are not going to follow the Sabbath and stop work on a Saturday. That is the fork tongue of calling yourself a Christian. So, and it says, for on the first day he created the heavens which are above, and the earth, and the waters, and all the ruachs. So again, the angel of presence is telling Moshe that the Most High completed the creation of all things in 6 days, and he kept the Sabbath. Now he's coming back and telling him on the first day what the Most High singularly, nobody else, nothing on the side of him, nothing under his wing, nothing hidden. The first day he created the heavens which are above the earth and the waters and all the ruach, the spirits. Now, Hakodesh means holy. So when we speak about the Ruach HaKodesh, we are speaking about a specific one, just like this angel of presence. So we have an understanding of what is being done from the beginning before you get confused about the rest of the world, or King David, or anything else. The Most High, in the beginning, there was no other spirits with him. There were no other gods. He created on the first day the earth, the waters, and all the ruachs which serve before him, the angels of the presence. You might ask why I'm reading so slow. I really want us to get it. It says, he created the waters on the first day and the spirits which serve before him, the angels in plural of presence. So Moshe is being talked to and told to write this down by a single angel of the presence. But on the first day, the Most High created multiple angels of the presence. All right. And it says, and the angels, it says, angels of the presence and the angels of sanctification. So a group of angels just for sanctification, and a group of angels for the present time, presence. And the angels of the Ruach of fire, and the angels of the Ruach of winds, and the angels, all these are groups, and the angels of Ruachs of clouds, and of darkness, and of snow, and of hail, and of hoarfrost, and the angels of the voice of the voices, and of the thunder, and of the lightning. So these are all angel groups. Are we clear? And they were all created by the Most High to do a specific thing, from the presence to the sanctification to the hoarfrost to the fire. These groups control these things. Nah. And it says, and of lightning, and the angels of the Ruach of cold and of heat, and of winter, and of spring, and of autumn, and of summer, and of all the ruachs of his creatures, which are in the heavens and on the earth. Now, that is verse 2 of Jubilees chapter 2, which one would think would be very simply understood and is very simply written. But that same understanding is now confused in present day spiritual groups that speak of the tree having a spirit and the rocks having a spirit and this and that. But they don't give praise unto the Most High. They worship that spirit that's of the things that the Most High created. Verse 3. He created the abyss and the darkness, evening and night, and the light, dawn and day, which he has prepared in the knowledge of his heart. So the Most High made a decision to make day and night by himself and not with the other angels or the other angel groups. They had no decision making in the process. Are we understanding? Because people get really confused by this. The angels that he created had nothing to do in the decision process of how these 6 days went. He created them to do certain things within those days. So it says, and thereupon he saw his works and praised him and lauded before him on account of all his works. So the Most High was happy and pleased with himself and gave himself on the back. I see Gwen is in the building. This is what the angel is telling Moshe. So on this Sabbath, when the Most High did this, then that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be thankful. We're supposed to be joyful of how we completed our week, our actions, how we stayed in line with the law. And it says, lauded before him on account of all his works, for 7 great works did he create on the first day. 7 things that the Most High created on the first day. The waters, the heavens, the angels, the day and night, autumn, summer, all these things, the seasons, he created 7. Verse 4. And on the second day, he created the expanse in the midst of the waters. And the waters were divided on that day, half of them went above and half of them went down below the expanse that was in the midst over the face of the whole earth. What is it saying? It's saying that the Most High created land in an expanse. The expanse is the land. And he said that he created, not only he divided, it said the waters were divided on that day. Half of them went up above and the other half of them went down below the expanse that was in the midst over the face of the earth. So water, which is what we say we see above, they say that space is like a stoppage of time, that it feels like weightless, like you are in water, so to speak. But the Most High gives waters that's beneath that we are dealing with, that the land is, the expanse is placed upon, and then the waters of the heavens. And it says, and that was the only work the Most High created on the second day. So the second day was just separating the waters, creating the waters of the heavens and the waters on the earth and the expanse of the earth. And on the third day, he commanded the waters to pass from off the face of the whole earth unto one place, and the dry land to appear. And the waters did so as commanded them. And they retired from off the face of the earth unto one place outside of the expanse. So if we were on a globe, where would that water go on the globe? But if you're on 4 pillars, water can rise to this corner and your earth is here. So then it also tells us that the land masses that we are thinking of, there is more of that than we know. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it slow. This is letting us know that when the Most High on the 3rd day created this landmass, he moved all the waters to a place that none of the landmass would see, could feel. There's no water on it. So what we see as present day sea, and we got the sea floor, which is the earth, the expanse, all that's gone. Now we know our earth, the globe that they say we own, right? It's supposed to be 70% water. Let me Google that. I don't want to lie. How much of the earth is water? 71%.
Water covers about 71% of the Earth's surface.
71% of our Earth's surface is water. So the Most High moved it all the way. 71%, guys. So there's obviously more land than we are aware of. There's more of this expanse than we are aware of, that the Most High can move 70% of what we see away and be on, still in part of his creation. He didn't put it in space. He didn't put the water in space. All right. Verse 6. And the waters did so as commanded them, and they retired from off the face of the earth unto one place outside this expanse. And this expanse, meaning earth, and the dry land appeared. Verse 7. And on that day he created for them all the sea according to their separate gatherings, places, and all the rivers, and all the gatherings of waters in the mountains, and on all the earth, and all the lakes, and all the dew of the earth, and the seed which is sown, and all the sprouting things, and the fruit-bearing trees, and the trees of the wood, and the garden of Eden. In Eden and all. Now, when it says in the Garden of Eden, and then it says in Eden and all, not quite sure what that means. I'm going to tell y'all straight up. I'm not sure what in Eden and all means, right? But maybe just saying that that's the full creation, right, of that day. So we had an earth. We have an earth, right? We have an expanse that's bigger than what they tell us is on a globe, that 70% of this can be moved from the land, but not from the expanse that the Most High has. Now, then the Most High comes back and places the rivers and the land and the lakes and everything how he wants it, and water coming down the mountains, and then the Garden of Eden. Then verse 8, these 4 great works, and then they give you in the scripture, Elohim created on the 3rd day. Now, Elohim, we know that means multiple gods. We're clear. So now they are introducing to you that the 4 great works that the Elohim, that the gods created on the 4th day, where in these last 8 verses does the Most High say he created a God? See, this is very important when we're just reading to understand instead of hearing all of these concepts. Where did he say he created a God? Everything up until this point, the Most High has created angels to do his bidding. Man is choosing to call them gods when they're not. And they're groups of angels, seraphim, cherubim, and whatever else the Most High has created. These are groups that has done his bidding, not that they were creators. And in fact, in verse 3, it tells you the angel of presence says that when the Most High decided to separate day and night, he didn't ask us. This was something he decided to do. Then it says, verse 9, and on the fourth day, he created the sun and the moon. So now they go from calling out a multiple God to now going back to the singular. Just in the next verse, from verse 8 to verse 9, do we understand why there is confusion in this world and why we can make way for other gods or angels to become a God? Something that we then want to worship, because the literary people that wrote this wanted this to happen. They wanted to open this up. I see Brother Boots in the building. They wanted to open this up for you to be confused. But as we're reading this slow, we're understanding that the Most High created all things, and on the first day he created groups of angels to do his bidding, not gods. Not gods. This is men trying to put a title upon things that the Most High created to do his bidding. So then we go. On the fourth day, he created the sun and the moon and the stars and set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon all the earth. So now, not only is the earth plane, the four corners that he has called the expanse, not only has he moved 70% of the water off this expanse, now he's telling you that the heavens, what we call space, is an expanse as well. And he says, expanse of the heavens to give light upon all the earth and to rule over the day and the night and divide the light from the darkness. So what he says, verse 9, he created the sun and the moon and the stars and set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon all the earth and to rule over the day and the night and divide the light from the darkness. And then they give you again plural, Elohim, appointed, but it's really Al. And they give you the El, which we've already gone through. So Al is what it should be. And it says, all appointed the sun to be a great sign on the earth for the days and for the Sabbath. Now we have a lot of people that will confuse all of this and start going into lunar calendar or solar calendar, and you have the Sol Invictus, and you had the Egyptians that worship Ra, being the sun, again a creation of the Most High for the Sabbath, not for worship. And when the Most High tells you in the scripture that the sun, his holy S-U-N, will return, that's what he means. So it says, appointed the sun to be a great sign on the earth for days and for the Shabbat, and for months, and for feasts, and for years, and for Shabbat of years, and for the Jubilees, and for all seasons of the years. And it divides the light from darkness and for prosperity. So separating light, I see David's in the building. So separating light from darkness is for prosperity. And it says, for all things may prosper which shoot and grow on the earth. So man shoots and grows from the earth. I see. Thank you, cuz, for letting me know you're in the building. The earth, the sun, is for our growth and our healing. So if it kills, that's the opposite of what the Most High says. We're not getting into people groups, but I think, well, remember Hebrews stated being, we don't hold back. Look, if there's a certain group that says the sun is killing them, then that means they're inorganic to what the Most High has created up until the fourth day of creation. Are we understanding that? Is that plain enough? It says it is for prosperity, because what is prosperity in the Most High's eyes? Growth, would shoot and grow on the earth. These three kinds he made on the fourth day. Verse 11, and on the fifth day, he created sea monsters, Leviathan, right? He says on the fifth day, he created great sea monsters in the depths of the waters. For these were the first things of flesh that were created by his hand. The fish and everything that moves in the waters and everything that flies. Whoa. Everything that flies, the birds and all their kind. So now on the fifth day, there's a difference between fish and sea monsters. I will call a whale a fish. Yes. I'm going to call a whale a fish. I'm going to call a shark a fish. I'm not going to call that a sea monster. When the Most High says something is a monster, we got to go big, baby. We're not talking small. We're going big. It's the first thing he created of flesh after he didn't create the giant sun and the giant moon and the giant stars that he put in the expanse. The first flesh you think was a whale, a megathon, a shark, a lot bigger, go bigger. And it says, his hands created by his hands. It said the first things of flesh that were created by his hands, the fish and everything that moves in the waters and everything that flies, the birds and all their kind. So where are the Elohims that would do that? It said by his hand. Now, he could definitely have employed the angels to do so, and I would still consider that by his hands. But I digress. Verse 12. And the sun rose above them to prosper them. So the fish and even the great monsters of the sea don't grow and prosper without the sun. And above everything that was on the earth, everything that shoots out of the earth, and all the fruit-bearing trees and all the flesh, these three kinds he created on the fifth day. And on the sixth day, he created all animals of the earth. So the water is 71% of this expanse. And the first things he created was in the water and what flew in the sky. Before he got to animals, before he got to us, he had created an ecosystem that was survivable, that grew, growth of tree-bearing, the fruit-bearing trees, not the tree-bearing, the fruit-bearing trees. And on the sixth day, he created all animals of the earth and all cattle and everything that moves on the earth. And after all this, he created man, and man and a woman created he them. So he says, let's go 15 slow. And after all this, he created man. And then they give you a comma. And they're telling you that man and woman is man. According to the Most High, what you would call mankind, right, is man and woman. So on this day, he created man and woman, right? And gave him, it said, and created he them, and gave him dominion over all that is upon the earth and in the sea, and over everything that flies, and over beasts, and over cattle, and over everything that moves on the earth, and over the whole earth, and over all these he gave him dominion. So, as a touchy subject, second touchy subject of the lesson, women. When women are saying that they are equal as man, and the Most High is saying that he has given man the dominion over all things that the Most High created on the sixth day and before. When Adam and Eve ate the apple and the Most High gave his punishment, he gave his punishment to Adam first. As the creation of birds and fish and trees, woman was created out of the rib of man. So when a woman chooses the wrong man to be her king or her leader, is that on the man, or is that on her, or is that on mankind and not upon her? A man that does not rule properly, the Most High destroys. He destroys this man, whether making him an alcoholic, making him a gambler, making him a whore, making him a liar. He's going to destroy that man. Yes, he is. That is the system. Now, you may not like the system, and you may not think that the system works fast enough for your feelings, but this is a everlasting system that's been put in place in the first 6 days. If you do not like who is ruling you, leave. You hear me say it. Kyle Jones said it. If you're not liking who is leading you, the Most High gave you the power as a woman, as a human being, to not be under anyone's subjection, that you can't believe that their leadership is for your best interest. Leave. In the conversation of putting down the entire manhood. Stop being social media, getting on, and because of the ill man you chose, it is now all men are failing and are diseased and are afflicted by the same ills of the human being you chose to lead. Do not say that the Most High was wrong. Do not say that the Most High meant something else. Do not try to interject and say that it's an equal thing. You come from the rib of a man. Now, if you don't believe that, you don't believe in the Most High, you don't believe in Genesis, so that's the new conversation. But the conversation is not about you saying that the man should not be in leadership. It is given dominion by the person that created all things to do so. And not as a man woman, not as a Jenny woman, not as a homosexual, but what the Most High created. That is, you are given dominion when you follow his law, as the angels follow his law, as the waters follows his law, as the trees follow his law, as the sun and the moon follows his law. It says, over all this, he gave him dominion. And these four kinds he created on the sixth day. And there we altogether 22 kinds. The Most High is telling me I need to tell the flip side of what I just stated about a woman. Men, if you have a woman that does not want to adhere to your dominion, if you're following the Most High as a righteous man, then you ought to pray for her. because you have dominion. It is your job to continue to profusely pray that the Most High sends the Ruach HaKodesh, as Hosea did to Gomer. It is your job to follow the Most High and stay and work within that relationship until the Most High tells you otherwise, until she decides that she no longer wants to be under your leadership, that is under the leadership of the Most High. That is her decision to leave. Your job is to pray unto the Most High to make what you know is right happen. So I want to get both sides of that. Verse 17. And he finished all his works on the sixth day, and all that is in the heavens and on the earth, and in the seas, and in the abyss, and in the light, and in the darkness, and in everything. Let's say what was that. And he finished all his works on the sixth day, and all that is in the heavens and on the earth. That's everything. And all that's in the sea and in the abyss, and all that's in the light and the darkness, and everything. Verse 18, and he gave us a great sign, the Sabbath, that we would work 6 days, but guard the Sabbath. Why does it say that word, man? Why, at no point in time, have we heard this word used during this creation, during the conversation with Moshe? And what is that word? Guard. He says to guard the Sabbath, saying that it's going to be attacked, letting you know from the beginning that his day that he created would be under attack. He tells you to guard it. To me, that's monumental. That's not something to walk over. It is something to labor on. We should be guarding. That means that you should expect that somebody, some job, some situation, some supernatural thing is going to try and stop you from being at rest on the Sabbath. And you have a job at that moment to guard it with all of the Most High's vigor, vengeance, yelling, whatever it may be, establishing order in the four corners that you are in, because you are following his holy day. But know that it's going to be attacked. Know that from here it says guard it, because it's going to be attacked. The Most High tells us as we get through scripture, as we get older, as we mature, that is his sign, that's how he knows his children, that when he does come back, not somebody else, but when he comes back, that there is going to be the sign between him and his children. It's going to be that Sabbath. So he tells you, as he's talking about the creation, to guard it, man, to guard it. Do we understand how serious this is being said to us? Do you let the words come off the pages to fit in your heart, to fit in your soul, to fit in your spirit? Do you let it excite you? Do you understand that it's not just words on a tablet? We're talking that the Most High said in 6 days he created everything. There was nothing new. Inky and Lil, if it was something that happened, the Most High created it in the 6 days. If there was a Jesus, if there was anything that was created in 6 days, then the Most High said he gave man dominion over all things. And instead of telling you about a Jesus, he told you to guard the Sabbath. Instead of telling you about some angel that he hid, he told you to guard the Sabbath. Instead of telling you about Abrahamic fates, he told you to guard the Sabbath. We're still in the 7-day creation. We're in the 7-day creation. With nothing has gone bad. There is no ill. There is no evil. All angels are in accordance in the 7 days, and still the Most High says, guard that Sabbath like a soldier. Guard it like a soldier. Isn't that what soldiers do? Soldiers guard things, right? That's what they do. So you're supposed to be Anything other than that on your Shabbat? Patrolling your house for peace? Demanding it be peace? But know your job is going to try and get you to work. Know the bills are going to try and get you to stop. Know that these things, the Most High knew from the first 6 days of creation. So guard this Sabbath, man. This is the key. This is something that you got to understand. It's going to be under attack. Now, the Most High didn't tell us to go in a cave on Shabbat. He didn't say we couldn't fellowship on Shabbat. He didn't say we couldn't love our friends, go by the house. He wants us to be in his spirit. You got food that you cooked on Friday during the day, then Saturday comes, you got extra food to go and fellowship and share food. And man, Most High wants all of that. He wants joy on his day. He don't want you stuck in the book and all you doing is just never lining. That's not, thank you. That's not peace. He said, what did he do on his seventh day? He looked back at all the work that he did over the week, man, and was thankful for the righteous work that he's done. The righteous work of the sea, the righteous work of the sun, the righteous work of the stars, the righteous work of his angels of winter, his angels of fall, his angels of the hoarfrost, his people. He said, man, guard it. And it says, guard the Sabbath on the seventh day from all work. Verse 19, and all the angels of the presence and all the angels of sanctification, these two great classes. So he's letting you know that there's classes of angels, class groups, right? He has bidden us to guard the Sabbath with him in heaven and on earth. So when I'm telling you that you in your house, come on now, you in your house and you are demanding that the Sabbath be recognized, you call upon these angels. I'm not saying angels of presence, give me my Sabbath. No, when you are calling upon it and defending and guarding it, they there. You ain't got to worship them. You ain't got to call them. You ain't got to get their name. By the name of the angels of presence, I demand peace in this house. No. You demand peace in the name of the Most High. And the angels of presence and sanctification come to your aid. See, that's how this thing works. And it says, verse 20, and he said to us, behold, I will separate unto myself a people from among all the peoples, and these shall guard the Sabbath. Ooh. So we are just out of the creation. And Most High said how he just separated the darkness. Verse 13, he talks about in that of guarding the Sabbath. And then we get who helps guard the Sabbath. And then now he says that there's going to be a people that's going to fight, that's going to guard this Sabbath. There's going to be a people. It's the first thing the Most High is saying after he created all things. Not that there's going to be a religion, not that there's going to be a faith, but that there's going to be a people that's going to guard this Sabbath. That's going to, through millennia, through races, through classism, through whatever, is going to guard this Sabbath. He said he set out a people from amongst all the peoples. So there's many peoples, like there's many classes of angels, and these shall guard the Sabbath, and I will sanctify them unto myself as my people, and I will bless them as I have sanctified the Sabbath and do sanctify it unto myself. even so will I bless them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim, their creator. Not no Elohim, not no multiple God. He's singular. Al Shaddai. A-L Shaddai. The L, the A stands for the Aleph, the head. The L stands for limit, the law. The Most High has given you first law of the Sabbath in the garden. He's given a people that's going to be assigned. So today we had a debate in the house, and my wife misunderstood something that my son said, and it was in reference to spirituality and who we are. We are a people of the covenant. What the Most High is stating right here. This is what our household is. What others do and what they claim is on them. Whether I can have a DNA test that takes me back to the exalarchs, the royal family that was of David that was kicked out of Jerusalem, whether my bloodline can show that in a DNA test doesn't matter, because I'm awakened. The Most High told me this is who I was. And understand that there's 8 billion people in the world, and the Most High has not told all of them that. I don't know how many people seek his face or ask the question of who they are to the Most High. Or maybe they ask who they are to AI, they ask who they are to their parents, or they ask who they are to someone else. But I ask the Most High and allow him to answer me. So even if I am not bloodline, I am standing for Judah. I am following the law and raising my family in that manner, as the Most High said that there would be. He said a people. Now, as we go through, we learn the people of the 12 tribes, but then we know that the tribes were intermingled with so many different peoples, right? So verse 21, it says, and I have chosen the seed of Jacob from amongst all that I have seen. So now Most High saying he's seen in the future all things. It says, I have chosen the seed of Jacob from amongst all that I have seen. We're just coming out of the 7 days of creation. He's just created Adam and Eve, man, woman and man. There are no Jacob yet. There's no tribes. There's nothing. But the Most High said, I have seen and I have written him down as my firstborn son. Now that's very shaky, right, son? Because Christians say that Jesus is his firstborn son, that he kept away, that he created within the first 6 days. That's what Christianity says. That Jesus was born and put under the wing. He was hid. And then they say he was the spirit that was hovering over the waters. Well, if that's the case, when the Most High says this, then that Jesus or Isusus would have already existed. And why would the Most High then come back and say, no, Jacob is not my firstborn son, but Jesus is my firstborn son? Jesus supposedly came out of the line of Jesse, out of David, from David's line. This is Jacob, the top, the beginning, before that even happened. So it's not a shoot that came out. The man, Jacob, Jacob, the twin brother of Esau, the Roman Catholic Empire, the first ones to bring you Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. So Most High says, and I have chosen the seed of Jacob from amongst all that I have seen, and I have written him down as my firstborn son, and I have sanctified him unto myself forever and ever, and I will teach them the Sabbath, that they may guard. He said, I'm going to teach it to them so that they may guard. So the second time he's using the word guard. I'm just Second time using the word guard. He says, I'm going to teach it to him. And Moshe is the one that's teaching it, right? And all this is being told to Moses, right? So it says, I will teach them the Sabbath, that they may guard the Sabbath thereon from all work. And thus he created therein a sign in accordance with which they should guard the Sabbath with us on the seventh day. So with us, meaning that the Most High and the angels, as he said already, they still observe the Sabbath. With us on the seventh day, to eat and to drink, and to bless him, or baraka him, who has created all things, as he has barakaed and sanctified unto himself a peculiar people above all peoples, and that they should guard the Sabbath together with us. So the Most High knew that the world was going to go astray and do all that they wanted to do. The Most High knew that they were going to create other gods and other demiurges and all of these different things. We know the fallen angels and whatnot. We understand the Most High knew it before it all happened and said, yes, all of it is going to happen. Because that's the one thing that people love to say. Man, if God knew all this was going to happen, he created this. He knew that children was going to get killed and babies was going to get killed and unjust. And he let all this happen. It can't be no God. Can't be no creator. They love that. They love that. What they miss when they're doing all their ranting and raving is you. What are you doing as you're ranting and raving? Are you living a righteous life? Are you trying to? Are you denouncing the things that are of evil? Or are you perpetuating them? You're perpetuating them and then saying that nothing can change. Well, it can't change if you don't change. Do we understand that? None of this changes if we don't change. It's not about us coming together as a rally. It's every household deciding to guard the Sabbath. Every household. It's the law for all of us, not just his people, but he chose a peculiar people, not because they were going to be supernatural like the X-Men. Nah, he didn't choose us so that everybody could kiss our buttocks. No, because he gave us a job that we would have to guard. He gave us a job so that the other people, after they decided to go other ways, would still see that there were people that understood and respected the creator of all things and that would try their best to guard the Sabbath. That's what the part of peculiar is. That's the part that they then twist and say, we want to be special. That my God wouldn't have a chosen people. Are you following your creator? Are you? Is the question. Are you following what he said to do? So that's why you have to have a certain people guard. That's why you have to have a peculiar people that will stand up against the rest of the world and say, I know y'all are doing all of this on Saturday and all this on Friday night, but I'm not going to participate. I'm not telling you you horrible and you're going to die. I ain't judging you. I'm doing what I was told to do. And that shouldn't upset you. That shouldn't enrage you. That I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and that I'm telling others that, yes, this is what we're supposed to be doing. That should not enrage you. If you want to continue to do whatever you do on Friday night and Saturday during the day, then you do it. This should not enrage you. And because the Most High said that we're a peculiar and special people because we would not do what you're doing, that must be what's enraging you. Because I won't go out on Friday night and get drunk with you and throw up and talk about the world is no good and we ain't got no answers and kids don't have no respect for nobody. No, I'm not. I'm going to do my house. And I'm going to pray that the child that I'm raising and the one that's already out my house, that through my work with the child in the house, that the Most High will send his angels of presence, his angels of sanctification to my child in Atlanta and turn his heart. Because he's a grown man at 32. I can't make him. I can't redo what's been done. So when I tell men and you think you got a wife that won't follow you, you put your serious prayers in and show the Most High how much you want to keep her and how much you want her to change. Put your work in your prayers into your Creator. Watch things move. So it's not about being better than anybody else. It's about understanding and taking the responsibility of guarding the Sabbath and being of the covenant and saying that you love the Creator and his creations are cool. Appreciate the angel of summer and winter and fall. I love the fact that the sun grows my food and makes me healthy. Man, right on, brother. We all working this thing out with the Most High. We all in order. But I ain't worshiping them, nor man. So when it says, verse 22, and thus he created therein a sign in accordance with which they should guard the Sabbath with us on the seventh day and eat and to drink and to baraka him who has created all things as he has baraked and sanctified unto himself a peculiar people above all peoples, and that they should guard the Sabbath together with us. And he caused his commands to ascend as a sweet savor acceptable before him in all his days. So that's why I do the frankincense and myrrh. That is the sense, the savory, how they put it, the sweet and savory acceptable scent. Yeah. Man, ascend a sweet savor acceptable before him his days, right? So that's why we do the frankincense and myrrh, because he says that's acceptable sweet scent in order to send up. So this was his command, and he called his command to ascend. He said there were 22 heads of mankind from Adam. So 22 heads, that's 220 heads of mankind from Adam to Yaakov. So different types of people, 220 different types of races, if you want to call it that. But we're talking bloodlines. We're talking cultures of people. We're talking Esau to Jacob to, you're 220 different kinds of man between Adam and Jacob, Yaakov. And 20 kinds of work were made until the seventh day. See, and 20 kinds of work were made until the seventh day. So the Most High is saying that the work that he did in the 6 days, he did 220, the same as the amount of mankind between Adam and Jacob. And he says, until the seventh day, this is baraka and holy. And to the former also is baraka and holy. And this one serves with the one for sanctification and blessings. So read again. Jacob and 22 kinds of work were made until the seventh day. This is baraka and holy. And the former also is baraka and holy. So the former being the thing that the Most High created, and then the mankind that was created, 220, right? And it was rock and holy. And this one serves with that one for sanctification, meaning that the celestial things that the Most High created, 220 things, work with the 220 heads of mankind that the Most High created. They're all supposed to work in unison, right? And it says, in blessings, verse 25 of chapter 2 of Jubilees. And to this Yaakov and his seed, it was granted that they should always be Barakah and Kodashim. The Kodashim is the body, is all of Yasharala, right? The priestlyhood, right? And of the first testimony and Torah. Oof. So, and of the first testimony and Torah, even as he has sanctified and barakah the Sabbath on the seventh day. So the seed of Yaakov, Yehuda, Judah, and the 12 tribes, right? That they are the first testimony and Torah, that we are supposed to be speaking the Torah, nothing else. That's what it tells you in Romans 11, verse 27 and 28, when Paul told them boys that we as the Kodesh Shem will never listen to the Gospels because we have the first testimony. We have the Torah and we have the sanctified day to guard the Sabbath. So we can never worship on a Sunday. Get it? We can never worship on a Sunday. So when it says, the Torah, even as he has sanctified and barakah the Sabbath on the seventh day. Verse 26. He created heaven and earth, everything that he created in 6 days. And the Most High made the seventh day holy for all his works. Therefore he commanded on its behalf that whosoever does any work thereon shall die, and that he who defiles it shall surely die. Verse 27. Wherefore do you command the children of Yasharallah to observe this day, that they may keep it holy, and not do thereon any work, and to not defile it, as it is holier than all other days. And whosoever profanes it surely shall surely die. And whosoever does thereon any work shall surely die eternally. Shall surely die eternally, forever and ever. That the children of Yasharallah may observe this day throughout their generations, and not be rooted out of the land. For it is a holy day and blessed day. So now, the obvious thing is, one would say, if the Most High said he would kill us if we didn't follow the Sabbath, and obviously people go out and do not follow the Sabbath, and they are not dead. Well, one, this wasn't for everybody. He told you he created 220 kinds. He said that Jacob, his seed, was his seed, and surely those would die. If you don't believe me, read the text again. He's speaking to Jacob, not the world, not the 219 other peoples. Even though the Most High wants it done, he has given a command and said that we are a special people. In order for that, that's an if-then statement. For him to do that, then we have to understand what is the severity of not doing that. So when he says the death will come into us, and that we would be rooted out of the land, which we were, and we have fallen under all the curses thus far because of that. Yeah. So you don't die immediately. You don't believe it. So dying inside, internally, not eternally, but internally, slowly every day, still is a death. And whatever you decide to do on Friday night, you're in that club and you shot, and everybody on the news say, oh, he got into a fight, or she got into a fight, it was a drunken brawl, and this went wrong, and then that person got killed. You won't attribute that to the fact that that was what was said. You out there on a Friday night, eventually you're going to do the things that's going to get you killed in some form or fashion. For us as Hebrews, y'all understand what I'm saying? By the ones that say they follow the commandments, the ones that's in the law, the ones that of his people that are gone astray, we are feeling all of the curses. So, verse 29, and and everyone who observes it and guards Sabbath thereon from all his works will be holy and blessed throughout all days, like unto us. So the Most High, as he told you, has a system. He created 220 things. He said that from Adam to Jacob is 220 type people. He selected one particular people. Those people are locked in because they follow the Sabbath. And those all work in conjunction together. Now, he's telling you that all people can follow the Sabbath and be holy like us, like those, the people that are following the Sabbath, his peculiar people, his special people, along with his angels, his seraphim, and all other things. That's, I think, is where the crux of the matter is for others. Because the Most High allows you, wants you to follow the Sabbath. He wants the world to be under the Sabbath. He wants us as mankind to go even further step, that the land that we are farming on in the 7th year, to give that land rest. The Most High said, even if you got an indentured servant, in that 7th year, I want you to treat it like a Sabbath, and he is released of whatever he owes you. The Most High wants us all to operate on the Sabbath level, on a Sabbath operation. It's not for the special people of Yaakov. The special people of Yaakov have to guard it because the people don't want to do it. They create all the fun on Friday night. All the good stuff happen on Friday night. The movie releases, the parties for the schools, everything happens, premieres for plays. Everything happens on a Friday night. You think that's by accident? You think the world doesn't hate the Most High? And the most fun you can have in a week is on the day that he asks you to not. But they gear it for you to absolutely want to have all the fun on that night. Then it says, verse again, and everyone who observes it and guards the Sabbath therein from all his work will be holy and blessed throughout all days like unto us. Declares and says to the children of Yasharallah, the Torah of this day, both that they should guard the Sabbath therein, and that they should not forsake it in the error of their hearts, and that it is against the Torah to do any work therein which is unseemly, to do therein their own pleasure. So then it tells you not to do your own pleasure on that day. So no, you're not supposed to have sex on the Sabbath. That's right. Even if you're married and everything is all in accordance, baby. We're not supposed to do all of our pleasure on that day. We're supposed to be thankful and gratitude of the Most High. And sometimes our pleasures gives pleasure only to our flesh, doesn't give joy unto our Creator. So it's not saying that you got to be in sackcloth and supposed to have fun, but it's all supposed to be geared to the Most High and loving the Most High and his scriptures. It's a very simple thing, man. But it's hard because we got so many distractions in the world. I do get it. And it says, and they should not forsake it in error of their hearts, and that it is against the Torah to do any work therein which is unseemly, and to do therein their own pleasure, that they should not prepare therein anything to be eaten or drank, and that it is against the Torah to draw water or to bring it or to take out therein through their gates any burden. So Most High is saying no burdens. Don't bring no burden in your gate. Don't take no burdens out your gate on the Sabbath. It's supposed to be rest and joy, which they did not, which had not prepared for themselves on the 6th day in their dwellings. So don't do nothing on the 7th that you ain't prepared for in the first 6 days. And they should not bring in nor take out from house to house on that day, for that day is more holy in Baraka than any Jubilee day of the Jubilees. And this we keep Shabbat, Sabbath in the heavens before it was made known to any flesh to guard the Sabbath therein on the earth. So that's chapter 2 of Jubilees. And I'm thinking Jubilees is a really long book. So I'm not saying I'm going to read all 50 chapters of the Jubilee. I'm going to jump around a little bit, but I do believe I'm going to go into this third and fourth chapter, and then get back to our regular programming on Hebrew State of Being. But I think we're going to go all the way through Jubilees chapter 4. I don't want to get too deep into the lineages and the who begat who and who gave birth to who, and I don't want to get too deep into that. But I want to kind of read Jubilees up into they start getting into those lineages. But that is our lesson for today on this Sabbath. The understanding of how the Most High created all things, how in this present day we get this confusion of gods and confusion of other things that are moving in this world, and we fear it, and we start to praise it and give things to that we should not. Understand that the Most High is everything. It's the only thing you need to give praise and honor to. Is the only thing that you need to consort. It's the only thing that you need to get better understanding of, is the Most High, not any other thing. His law is the way he says to show him that you love him, and the Sabbath is the major one. So all praise unto the Most High. Thank y'all for tuning in. I will see you guys on next Shabbat. If I can get a Monday or Wednesday in, I will. But for right now, we on every Sabbath rotation. But all praise unto the Most High. Guard the Sabbath. Love your home. Pray on your home. Even when you're working, pray on your home. Doing the 6 days a week, trust me, I do it. I do lift. I'm out here all the time, and I'm praying on my house all the time. I'm praying for goodness. I'm praying for righteousness. I'm asking for forgiveness for my entire home. Everything starts, the change in this world starts in your home. So you be the leader of that. You be the leader of that prayer, and watch the Most High move. All praises. Me shalom.